Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a cheerful school known as the Little Oak Academy. The academy was bustling with curious minds and enthusiastic learners. But there was one student who stood out among them all. His name was Charlie. Charlie wasn't just an ordinary student. He was the school topper. Everyone admired him because he always scored the highest marks in every subject. But Charlie had a secret to his success, his kindness. Charlie had a unique habit. Whenever he found a concept easy, he would teach it to his friends who struggled. Knowledge is meant to be shared, he often said with a bright smile. His classmates adored him not only for his intelligence, but also for his willingness to help others. One day, Little Oak Academy announced a grand competition called the Rainbow Challenge. It was a series of tasks that tested students' inventiveness, teamwork, and kindness. The entire school was abuzz with excitement, and Charlie knew this was his chance to show everyone the true power of kindness. As the competition commenced, Charlie teamed up with his classmates Emily, Sam, and Lily. Their first task was to create an invention using recycled materials. Charlie encouraged his team, saying, "If we all put our heads together, we can make something truly amazing." Working hand in hand, they built a marvelous bird feeder that scattered seeds in the most ingenious way, welcoming birds from nearby forests. The next task was even more challenging. The team had to choreograph a dance to spread a message of friendship. Charlie led the group with grace, suggesting a routine where all held hands and formed a circle to symbolize unity. Their act wasn't just a dance. It was a heartfelt expression of togetherness. As the grand finale approached, the school's headmaster took to the stage. The crowd went silent with anticipation and then erupted in applause as Charlie and his team were declared winners. But instead of claiming all the fame, Charlie did something unexpected. He invited everyone who participated to step onto the stage and share the victory. "Winning is fun," Charlie declared, "but what makes us true champions is lifting each other up." The headmaster beamed with pride, announcing that not only Charlie's team, but the entire school won because they learned the value of kindness. And from that day on, Charlie was known not only as the topper of Little Oak Academy, but also as the kindest heart around, proving that kindness is the most brilliant light of all. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, a little rabbit named Lay was scampering about. Lay was a joyful soul, always hopping from one place to another, making friends along the way. His most beloved friend was Marta, a wise old turtle. Although Marta moved slowly, she always seemed to know the secrets of the forest and the tales of times long past. One breezy morning, as the sunlight danced between the leaves, Lay approached Marta, who was resting near the sparkling blue stream. "Marta, why do you always tell us stories?" asked Lay with a curious glint in his eye. Marta, ever so patiently, looked at Lay and smiled. "Stories teach us. Young Lay, stories show us the way." Lay was intrigued but mischievous. He thought to himself that stories couldn't possibly be all that important. "I'm not going to listen to stories anymore," he declared boldly. "I'll make my own path, just like you said stories show." So, Lay began his mischievous adventures, deciding not to heed the lessons Marta offered. He hopped through the forest, past the wise old owl's tree without stopping to hear her legend of the stars. He scampered right past the friendly fox without waiting to hear his tale of courage. One day, as Lay hopped spiritedly across a meadow, he found himself lost. The sun was setting, and the lovely warm glow turned into a cold, shadowy chill. Lay's brave heart quivered. and he missed the comforting words of Marta's stories that always seemed to cradle him in safety. Just then, amidst the dim light, Lay heard a familiar voice. It was Marta. She had come looking for him, guided by the wisdom of her own tales. Lay, dear child, it is in stories that we find guidance, even when the path is unclear, Marta said gently, as she embraced her little friend. From that day on, Lay never ignored the power of a story. He listened eagerly, attentive to the morals and lessons each tale imparted. Through those stories, Lay learned to be brave, kind, and wise. The tales enriched him in ways he could never have imagined. And thus, the forest flourished with stories and dreams, and Lay became the best storyteller of them all, passing down the wisdom to generations yet to come. The moral of the story is never tell a Lay that stories aren't important, for they are the bridge between the heart and mind, guiding us through life's wondrous journey. In the bustling town of Tiktokville, where the sun danced merrily in the sky, lived a young mouse named Timmy Timewatch. Timmy was not your ordinary mouse. He had a peculiar fascination with time. His tiny room was filled with clocks and watches of every kind, each ticking harmoniously, marking the minutes and seconds that Timmy cherished so dearly. Timmy had a best friend, a cheerfully lazy turtle named Tina Slowly. Tina loved to nap under the sun and believed that time was an endless supply. Why rush, Timmy? She'd often say, stretching her legs leisurely. We got all the time in the world. But Timmy knew better. His wise old grandpa Tick had once told him, time is not something you can get back, young Timmy. Every tick and every tock is a moment to cherish. One sparkling morning, their teacher, Miss Clockwise, announced the grand annual TikTokville talent show. The winner would receive a magical hourglass that granted the user an extra hour in their day. Timmy's eyes widened with excitement. With that hourglass, he could fix all the watches in town before sunset. He urged Tina to join him in preparing an amazing act, but Tina, accustomed to taking things slow, shrugged it off. There's plenty of time, she yawned. Determined, Timmy practiced his act diligently, perfecting a dazzling display of clockwork tricks. Meanwhile, Tina dozed under her favorite tree, dreaming of Turtle's races she always won in her dreams. The day of the talent show arrived, and the town square buzzed with excitement. Timmy, confident in his preparations, was ready. He looked around for Tina, but she was nowhere to be found. When her name was called, Tina panicked, realizing she had wasted too much time napping. She hurried to the stage, but her lack of practice showed. Despite her stumbles, the audience cheered her effort. Then it was Timmy's turn. He leapt onto the stage, his tricks flowing seamlessly, a beautiful symphony of clicks and tick-tocks that mesmerized everyone. The crowd erupted into applause, and Timmy was awarded the magical hourglass. As Tina congratulated Timmy, she sighed, I wish I'd used my time wisely. Timmy smiled. Time is precious, he said kindly. But there's always the next show. Let's start practicing together tomorrow. From that day on, the clock tower in TikTokville not only marked the hours, but also reminded everyone of the invaluable gift of time. Timmy and Tina became a dynamic duo, combining speed and patience to create wonderful performances, always remembering the lesson they learned. And so, the ticking of the clocks resonated not just in their town, but in their hearts too, teaching them to value every moment and make the most of the time given. In TikTokville, time was not just measured by clocks, but by memories made and opportunities seized.